So one of the major challenges that a lot of us face is getting advice, and how do you go about getting advice? The idea of mentorship is something that people have kind of always had for a long time, but with the breakdown of the traditional family unit and as social media has kind of spread, we've outsourced a lot of our mentorship opportunities. We've lost a lot of our mentorship opportunities. It used to be that we would consult family members, we'd talk to, we'd ask grandparents, we'd ask parents, and that's essentially broken down. I mean, that's an old story where we don't feel in a lot of cases like our parents have the insight, or sometimes our parents just aren't around to provide, the sort of niche information that we need. The irony of that on another side is that the more big picture it is, the more speaking to your parents, a lot of times if you have the merit of having them be close to you, having them be alive, having that good relationship, is that they will give you a lot of big insights into your life. It could be as you think, kind of like a 30,000 feet advice in terms of who you are and what your life's all about. So I don't know what's going on over there. A little bit of a technology issue. My phone is an iPhone 6. So the issue is we don't really talk to people a lot, and then we sort of outsource a lot of our advice to books, self-help, and social media and stuff like that. And the problem with that, of course, is that it's not necessarily tailored for our advice. Then you want to be even more challenging about this whole situation is that when we go out and ask for advice, very often we don't follow it. And very often, which is something I do a lot, is I tailor the amount of information I give to the people I'm asking advice for to get and to solicit the sort of answer I want them to say. And of course, that doesn't do anybody any favors, because then you might as well just not ask anybody. So that's a famous thing that a lot of my rabbis have called me out on over time, is that they say, you ask 30 different rabbis, you ask 30 different mentors what to do, take the bits and pieces and essentially assemble what you wanted and whatever you want to hear in the first place. So the interesting, hang on, we got a little bit more of the maps where we're going here. We can work out. So the idea is that learning how to develop an ego where you can ask, and it's hard for me, man. I don't like doing it so much. Going up to someone, and a lot of times I have the opportunity of speaking to someone who's essentially a stranger that just knows my situation, and sort of, he doesn't know my situation, he knows the spaces that I'm in. I'm a kind of a crazy person that really wants to make a big impact, cares a lot about the Jewish people, cares a lot about health, loves business, wants to make a good living for my family. So all these kind of things don't necessarily all easily stick together. So I went up and I spoke to him, and the crazy thing was I didn't try to I don't know how you say BS in a nice way. I didn't try to put on someone that I'm not. I was very real with him. I didn't worry about him judging me, because I'm like, look, yes, he might think I'm a. What's the worst thing he's going to say? He's going to say you're not qualified for anything that you want to do. Okay, that'll hurt, and then I'm not going to listen to him, right? But I was very real with him, and it was amazing how some of the mentors that I have the closest to my life are kind of scared about hurting my feelings, or are too close to my life to really know what I should do, big picture. And I was amazed about how fast and how accurately he was able to break down the questions and really give a big picture answer that I felt really resonated with my life. So, getting over yourself, having that ability to say, hey, I don't know you, but I think you understand the space that I'm in. Could you give me some time? It was awkward. I made the ask. He said yes, and I was very real with it. And the final step, really, and I hope I'll be able to do this, is to be able to follow the advice. And again, that goes with everything. It's awkward to admit that you're fat, you need to lose weight, and to kind of go out there and say, how do I lose weight? It's awkward to say that, I have a crappy relationship. What's going on with the language this morning? A bad relationship with the kids. I need some help with that. But the reality is that we all struggle with the same stuff, right? And you just need someone that's a little bit better than you, or you can have someone that's a lot better than you in my case. And it was very beneficial because I got really good advice. And just asking and being in the process of working through that is super helpful. And then the final thing is the follow through, and all the great advice in the world doesn't matter if you're not going to follow it. So that's the new challenge I'm kind of stuck with, is am I going to follow it? I told my wife what he said, and he was like, she's like, cool, are you going to listen? We'll see what happens. Anyway, I wanted to give everyone hopefully have a good day. And if this at all inspires you, again, I feel like I'm like nowhere on my journey, but every now and again I get some nice compliments. People say, "Oh, cool! I like watching you," or whatever it is. You've accomplished all this stuff. So I'm telling you, I haven't figured anything out, and I'm always asking. So you should also ask and not be afraid to humble yourself a little bit or a lot, because what is there to not be humble about? And then take the actions, and don't be afraid to push back a little bit. If they say this, why don't you ask them if you don't think it'll work, or if it's too much or it's not real? Because at the end of the day, if you get advice that doesn't work for you, you kind of have an obligation to yourself not to end the conversation until you've broken it down until some kind of achievable piece that you could realistically do. And forget that ego, because it's like, oh yeah, I could do that. No, you can't do that. I had this one rabbi that told me, oh, you should do X, Y, and Z. You should be learning 2 hours a day. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll check that out. And guess what I didn't do? A lot less than that. Because I felt, and on top of it, I felt like he didn't understand me. And it's not he didn't understand me. I wasn't clear enough with what I was asking or what I needed. Or I didn't think I could do that. So it's okay, what's the next breakdownable chunk you can give me? And so, just have that conversation. Don't be afraid of doing it. And have a great day.